This tweet from Jack Dorsey sold for $2.9 million.
Jack Dorsey entering the fray of the weekend, offering the first ever published tweet from 2006.
Each one of these NBA Top Shots clips sells for over $200,000. Beeple's Everydays, the first 5,000, sold for $69 million at Christie's auction. Each Beeple's Bull Run can sell online for $300,000, or you can go to CVS and get your copy for $1.69. So, what are NFTs?
Now what the hell's an NFT? Apparently cryptocurrency. Everyone's making so much money. Can you please explain what's an NFT?
When I say non-fungible token, that doesn't really help you that much. Why are people putting so much value in them? And then, is this sustainable? I at first didn't want to make this video because I didn't want to hype up this space even more because it's quite frothy, but my brother sent me a text and says, why do I care about a digital picture of naked Steve-O? That's a very good question. Is this NFT a commodity? Are people just investing in it like paintings? What's the deal? So great question, and that clip of Steve-O is fascinating. A commodity is a raw material that's bought and sold and usually goes in to produce a finished product or consumable. In order to buy and sell and trade them, they need to be one and the same, interchangeable, fungible. Fungibility, for instance, is I can give you a $10 bill and I can accept two of your $5 bills. They mean the same thing. So, NFTs or non-fungible tokens are the exact opposite of commodities, where those soybeans and barrels of oil and copper can be traded and interchanged with each other. My paintings or houses or courtside Lakers seats aren't as interchangeable. The cool part is that there's a world of opportunity now in the digital world for non-fungibility, where before in the analog world it was a little bit more difficult to create things that are non-fungible. And that's where the token aspect comes in. The token means that it is on the blockchain. What's specifically on the blockchain is think about it like a digital signature or a pointer saying that you now own that token. It's just a representation of your ownership secured and stored on the blockchain. And then it becomes immutable. That record is there until you decide to sell that NFT. So take that video of Steve-O humping in the window. You can clearly see the chain of when that NFT was minted, when it was sold, when it was resold. Sometimes you can tell even how much it was sold for based on the marketplace and how those are written into the blockchain. This is crazy because it enables an artist to monetize what previously was unmonetizable or extremely difficult to monetize, especially while you're still alive. With that is also danger, right? Anybody can mint one of these NFTs. You can go onto one of the marketplaces and just start creating these works of art, or even worse, you could attempt to be somebody that you're not and try to market that as such. So you have a moral hazard essentially with knowing who you are and that your creation is what it is. Take for instance, Steve-O could go to the blockchain and create an exact replica of the NFT, volume 2, if you will, of that video, and there's nothing to stop him from doing so. So there's still an element of trust, even though blockchain is said to be trustless. It's more trust minimizing because we can audit it, and it has that immutability. So the artists have an unbelievable ability to monetize their works in real time, where once it was not possible. Picasso drew thousands of paintings because he needed the income from those paintings. Now these artists are selling an unbelievable amount of NFTs for an unbelievable amount of money, and what they're also doing is they're creating great network effect for these. And the last really cool thing that you can do with NFTs is every single time that NFT is sold, it has to interact with the original contract for it. So you could tweak the contract by giving yourself a 5% royalty to each sale you have. Or you can give yourself a 5% royalty to that, and then also a 5% royalty to Save the Homeless or the Panda Foundation or whatever. That helps your cause and it helps you as a starving artist. Now let's talk copyright. You might not know this, but you don't actually own anything when you get that NFT. What's even more challenging to some people is the same kind of principles apply when you buy a painting. you don't actually own the copyright to that painting unless it's specifically annotated in the transfer. What you do own is the right to display that because you have the physical work. The same is implied for the NFTs, even though there hasn't been great precedence here. The NFT, you do not actually own the work of art, and then you theoretically don't have any more increased ability to create derivative works from that, rather than what you would just be able to do with fair use in general. There's great potential here in songs, in art, in finance, in land ownership, collectibles. So, maybe the reason you're here, should I buy some NFTs? If you're asking that question, the answer is surely no. This is an overly frothy space and you will get taken. You will never see that money again. But I would encourage you to go to the marketplaces, go to OpenSea.io, go to Rarible, go to the others, and just check them out and see what is being sold, not just what people have price tags on, but what is actually being sold, and then make sure that it isn't just being wash traded. But sometimes you can compare some NFTs and their value to others. So go check it out, dabble and see what is going for what values people are putting on these things. And finally, are we in a bubble?
There could be a bubble.
Yes, we are absolutely in a bubble, but that doesn't mean that NFTs are gonna pop and never be a thing. NFTs in 2017, when I was buying my CryptoKitties, were all the rage, and it actually brought Ethereum's network down to its knees. But that doesn't mean that NFTs died. They just developed, people built on them and built them, and it came back even stronger than it was back then. The NFT market, we are not seeing the last of, but some of these prices, everybody has to understand, are unsustainable. You have no greater fool that's out there willing to pay more than $200,000 for a video of LeBron James dunking. That will go away, but NFTs are here to stay. This is Jerry. See ya!